Sometimes you're a fire, sometimes you're a ghost. Sometimes you can give me all the things that I love the most. Sometimes you're a queen, sometimes you're a curse, and sometimes a whole lot worse. Yeah, nobody's quite like you.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 19 of Blue Hell Worldwide here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and today we are taking on Fenerbahçe in the Super League Cup first round. We need to win this game if we are to achieve the board's objectives in that competition, and then off the back of a quite important domestic league game against Atletico Nacional, the bottom of the table that team are, so hopefully we can pick up 3 points against them off camera, and then we'll play Crystal Palace in the Europa League, a team who are bottom of the group at the moment, but a team who were expected to be finishing top, so that could be an interesting matchup. So if you're looking forward to this episode, then please do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and have watched a few episodes of this series, then please also consider hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But yesterday we were going into that episode quite down on form and just sucking in general. If you missed that, I will leave a link to it in the top right corner above my head. But today we come into things with some better morale, it's fair to say, as we picked up a few wins in that episode, and that continued in a Europa League game that we've played since then. We took on Millonarios in the Europa League, trying to build on the win that we got against Cercle Bruges in the off-camera game during yesterday's episode. They were all over us in the first 25 minutes of this game, but we clicked into gear in the second part of the first half. A free kick, Anthony Reyes at the far post, getting on the end of Louis Martin's ball and putting us 1-0 up. Then just shy of half time, you can see both Martins and a player for Millonarios off the pitch there, but we did make the most of it. Reyes again off of Martin's cross, putting the ball in the back of the net. A little bit of an iffy save from the goalkeeper, and that made it 2-0 at halftime. And we struck on the other side of halftime as well, this time Bolton setting up Daniel Shalloy, and just after halftime we were 3-0 up, and then we got into injury time. A headed goal there to Sepp Vandenberg to make it 4-0, and only a few minutes later, right before the full-time whistle, flick on there from Eli Sanchez to Johnny F. Russell, and we end up winning that game very comprehensively 5-0, our best performance of the season, despite the fact we're taking on a team a tier below us. But you can see stats-wise we were very clinical of our chances. They weren't. It's almost like the opposite of what's been happening most of the season, but very happy with that performance. Ray is the man of the match there with 2 goals, although to be fair, Martin's got quite a few assists and actually did get man of the match, but a very good performance there from our rotation team. Millonarios not really firing. They did create some chances, as I said, but didn't do a lot with it. So what that means for our Europa League group going into that Crystal Palace game in the second game of today's episode is we are now top thanks to goal difference, ahead of Monza, Malaga losing their third match week, and then down below that Cercle Bruges, Millonarios, and as we said, Crystal Palace still rooted to the bottom of the table. But first things first, we haven't had any league games since the end of yesterday's episode. We were supposed to have quite a big chunk of league games in between the Fenerbahçe and Crystal Palace games, but those have been pushed back due to an international break and quite a few players from the teams involved being away on that. So only the one game in between these two games that we're going to show you guys today. As I said, a game that we really need to be picking up 3 points from against bottom of the table Atletico Nacional. But first off, we're taking on Fenerbahçe in the Super League Cup first round. As I said, we're expected to reach the second round of this competition, and Fenerbahçe are over in the Italian, I suppose you could call it, Serie A division of this World Super League 2 tier. They are currently third after 9 games. Teams in front of them have some games in hand and some teams below them as well, so they could end up being a little bit further down than they are at the moment. But season preview-wise, a team who were expected to finish 9th. So they'll go into this game thinking that they are quite heavy favourites. They probably are, but just with that good little run of form that we've picked up at the moment and our morale on the boost, hopefully we can get a decent result out of this game. Guddy kinda is out with a gashed upper leg. That means that Felipe Hernandez comes on to the bench, but we're going to be putting out our strongest team available for the first game of today's episode, and we'll come back shortly from Fenerbahçe to see if we can upset the Turkish team in the first round of the Super League Cup. And we have TV coverage for the Super League Cup first round. Fenerbahçe with a 4-4-1-1, I suppose you would call that. And this is our team, as I said, as strong as we can get it, is our first choice team. The usual 4-3-3 for us there. And hopefully we can keep up our good run of form, albeit against very tough opposition in Fenerbahçe. They are in the dark blue and yellow. We are in the light blue. 17 minutes gone. We've got the first highlight of this game. Johnny F. and Russell with a throw in good area of the field for us in the final third ball. And therefore, Polito, it is headed away there by Zerker, I believe. Far post, though, for Daniel Shalloy. He gets another headed goal at the far post. He's done that quite a bit recently, so that's something that he's got in his game, down to a yellow heart already too, which isn't ideal. But what is ideal is that we go 1-0 up just shy of the 20-minute mark. I thought Polito might be getting onto that ball. It was Zaka who got on the end of that one, but it went back into Shalloy at the far post. Simple head of the goalkeeper getting nowhere near it, and we go 1-0 up against Fenerbahçe. 35 minutes gone, and we are down the other end as Fenerbahçe try and strike back, albeit that was a good header away there from Jala, but they are back in possession here. The Turkish side, nice ball there for Alvarado, and Tim Melia actually pulling out a decent save. There's something that I haven't been able to say for quite a while. It was very good for us last season, of course, Tim Melia, but has started the season off really badly. That header goes high and wide, and we do keep it at 1-0, 10 minutes shy of halftime. 44 minutes gone. It is a goal kick here to Fenerbahçe. Areola in goal for them, which is interesting, and they look to make their way forward and try and grab an equaliser at home right before halftime, but we can be very happy with the scoreline as it stands if it does remain that way, and we'll see if Fenerbahçe gets something going here, although that's a loose ball and Jala picks it up. What can we do here? We'll look out to his left, Daniel Shalloy in for Polito. Can we try and get another goal and really take the advantage in this game heading into the sheds at halftime? Jala, Fontas, back to Jala. We're just holding the ball up here, waiting for gaps to appear. Johnny F. and Russell. What will he do? Polito, Olasunde, tight angle, gets it past the goalkeeper. His first goal for the club, Matt Olasunde, I believe that was, and we make it 2-0 right on the brink of halftime, and we can be very, very happy with this first half now, upsetting Fenerbahçe 2-0 at home. Johnny Russell here, it was some good short passing, keeping possession well. Polito with the assist. It's a fairly average effort there from Areola in goal, but we do make it 2-0 right on the brink of halftime, and indeed that will be halftime. As I said, very happy with that. We're looking the more dominant team stat-wise as well, so maybe after a struggling start to the season, we're just starting to find some form at a good time for us here, but very happy with how this is going. I think we'll leave things the way they are going into the second half. 2-0 up against Fenerbahçe in this first round Super League Cup game. And 46 minutes gone, and we've got the first highlight of the second half, so a quick one here, and we have a throw in a good area of the pitch. Wintle back out to Olasunde, who got that goal right before halftime. Back on the ball, puts the ball in for Busio, top right corner, and we are thumping the Turkish Giants. Another game where we've scored goals very shortly either side of halftime, and they are now in a world of hurt here at Fenerbahçe. I'm not too sure if they rested some of their better players for this game, but we are making very light work of them at the moment. Busio, that's a really good finish. Olasunde having a great game, another assist next to his name, and we're 3-0 up just after half-time, and we will now take Daniel Shalloy off. He was getting quite tired early in the first half, so we'll bring Felipe Hernandez on for him, and we're in a great position, 3-0 up early in the second half. 73 minutes gone, we have a corner. Busio got the last goal, putting it in. Punchik with the header just over the bar. We are all over them here, but still, it remains 3-0, and now we have a throw-in by the looks of it, in a good area of the pitch again. This time, Ayongo will be taking this. We'll find Felipe Hernandez, puts a ball in for Johnny F. and Russell, and his header also goes high, so some good chances there to extend the lead, but still in a very good position. 3-0 up as we get closer to full time. Okay, 83 minutes gone here. We just recently brought Martins on for a tired Ayongo, and now we're going to do the same. Johnny F. and Russell can go off the field for Luke Bolton. So those are our 3 subs made in a very good position here. 3-0 up with less than 10 minutes to go. Okay, 90 minutes gone here. I just think that we might actually be allowed to make more than 3 substitutions in this competition. And in fact, we are. So both Busio and Walter can come off, albeit not too sure what good that's going to have in the 91st minute, but wasn't aware we have more subs available in the Super League Cup, so we'll make those, see if anything happens. But we do have a free kick here inside our own half, but start to make our way forward. Polito over for Felipe Hernandez getting a run in the first team with Guddy kinda unavailable for this game. Wintle up for Hernandez, good angle for him, tries to beat Areola at the near post, but a very good save similar to the one Melia pulled out in the first half. Now we have a corner, which Fenerbahçe do deal with, but we are going to make our way through to the second round of the Super League Cup, which is a good achievement. Another great chance there for Hernandez, and wasn't offside. If he gets there on target, we make it 4-0, and we're getting quite a few late highlights here, but we should, and surely will, be making our way through to the second round, meeting the board's objectives, knocking out quite a good scalp here for us in Fenerbahçe, and the second round draw has already taken place, and we will be taking on another Italian sort of outfit. I say Italian because these guys, of course, are in the Serie A division. That's what I mean by that. I realize these guys are from Turkey, but we will be taking on Atlanta. So that's going to be a very interesting tie for us against a good Italian side, as we have a throw in here for Fenerbahçe. But this looks like, even on key highlights, it's just something to wind the clock down and watch until this game finishes. If they pass the ball in field there to Fenerbahçe and the full-time whistle blows, and that is an exceptional performance from us. A couple of very good ones in a row now as we beat those guys 3-0, looking very good, matching our XG, the more dominant team. Maybe just going a bit more narrow defensively has helped us out. Olasunde a goal, and I think it was just a 1 assist, but might have got 2 in the end, getting man of the match, and a great performance from us there, knocking Fenerbahçe out in the first round of the Super League Cup. Okay, we are back in the inbox and have gone through a fair bit of time since we had the first game of today's episode. Obviously, we had a fair bit of time without games, thanks to those games being delayed, thanks to the international break, only that one league game, which we'll bring you guys highlights of shortly. But before we got into that game, unfortunately, Gianluca Busio, who has just hit a really good patch of form along with most of the squad, he sprained his ankle ligaments in training while we had that gap in between games, so he is going to be out for between 12 days to 4 weeks, so will not be available for this upcoming game that we do have against Crystal Palace. That means that Doyle Hayes will come into the starting spot in the first 11, and it will be Roger Espinoza coming back into the first team from the reserves, and he's going to get a start in this upcoming game against Crystal Palace as the club captain, even though he is down in the reserves, which is a bit interesting, but seems to be working at the moment, so we'll see how long we can keep that up for SB as our club captain. But now we'll show you guys highlights of an important league game against Atletico Nacional, a game that did have the potential to be a big banana skin for us. These guys bottom of the table, and we were absolutely dominating things, but hadn't got any reward for it coming up to the hour mark. But finally something happened here, just shy of it. Johnny F. and Russell here on the right hand side of the ball. It's a bit helter-skelter there, but in the end, Wintle putting a ball in Polito into the top left corner to make it 1-0, and then with 10 minutes to go in the game, we put it beyond doubt. A poor clearance there from the Atletico Nacional goalkeeper, and it was Johnny F. and Russell slotting Polito through into the bottom right corner to pick up a 2-0 win. You can see took us a wee while to get on top in that game. Everyone, for the most part, playing well as well, but that's why we should have had that game well and truly put beyond doubt sooner than we did. But we can be happy getting 3 points out of that game. As I said, a potential banana skin game, but we keep Atletico Nacional winless for 9 games after that win, so that's good for us and not good for them, but that might be one team who we don't have to worry about in the relegation battle this season. So what that means for the Brasileiro Serie A division is we are just outside the relegation zone after the game that we played second in yesterday's episode against River Plate. A few more games in that match week happened after we played that game, and we did dip back into that relegation zone, but we are back out of it again now and will not be getting overtaken anytime soon, as we have games in hand on most of the teams around us down there with 9 games played and on 11 points. So just out of the relegation zone at the moment as we finish the league gameplay for today's episode. But coming up, we have Crystal Palace. They are now 4th in the group, have played a game since we were last here and managed to pick up a win. If we have a look against Cercle Bruges, 1-0 through a Mamadou Sakho goal. So they're starting to find a little bit of form in this competition. So this could be a difficult game for us away at Selhurst Park, but we'll see what we could do and what could almost be called the actual Ted Lasso derby. I mentioned last year the Ted Lasso derby, which was against LAFC after they did a day when they were playing Sporting Kansas City, themed on Ted Lasso, which was interesting when Ted Lasso's from Kansas City and SKC thumped them 4-0. And Crystal Palace, of course, is where most of the Richmond AFC stuff for Ted Lasso gets filmed, and of course Ted Lasso from Kansas City, so this is almost an actual proper Ted Lasso derby, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can keep this good run of form going with the rotation team as we take on the Premier League outfit, in real life anyway, from Selhurst Park. So here are the team sheets. Crystal Palace up first, a 5-3-2. They've got a few familiar names from their current squad. I think more of them on the bench than in the starting 11, but you can see we come into this in very good form, the rotation team, but Espinoza back in for Doyle Hayes thanks to that Busio injury, and we go into this top of the group, but could lose that spot if we are defeated by Crystal Palace. They are at home, of course, in the blue and red stripes. We are again in the light blue, and we'll see what happens here from Selhurst Park. And a very early highlight in this game is we have a free kick inside the first minute, and we get the ball out to Gutty Kinder, of course. Forgot to mention that he did recover from the injury that kept him out of the first game of today's episode. Cuts in field here, will get a shot off and forces a good save out of Guaita there, and it does go out for a corner, but a good early chance for us there. If he just puts that a little bit further either side of the keeper, we might be 1-0 up, but they do deal with the header there. Louis Martins to tidy things up. Now Zusi will not do anything else, and it does remain 0 early doors. 15 minutes gone, and Crystal Palace with a throw in a good area of the pitch for them. That's a bit of a poor tackle there from Isama. Zaha with a ball, and it's Jairo Riedewald, and he will get a goal and put them 1-0 up. He does look like a giant compared to our players in the box there, so that's not too surprising, but this missed tackle here from Isama was what led to the goal, gave Zaha far too much space. Very nippy player, and Riedewald just had too much momentum there, running onto that ball nicely, and Crystal Palace go 1-0 up at the quarter of an hour mark. 23 minutes gone, another throw in a good area of the pitch here for Crystal Palace as we try and get on the counter here though through Gutty Kinder, but the scoreline is very fair at the moment as Crystal Palace absolutely dominating this game and us, so we do need to improve if we're going to get anything out of this game, albeit still early days. There's a long ball forward there for Zaha, but Vandenberg will tidy things up. Now Deschamps puts a ball out that will find, I'm not too sure who that was, I take it was Bolton. Now Espinoza up to Kinder, and we look to get on the attack again. Inside the box there is Gutty Kinder. Espinoza back out to Martin, some good passing here from us, back out to Ellie Sanchez. Walter might line one up here, he does, and that's just wide. Good attempt, but still we're 1-0 down about halfway through the first half. And that is half-time. Not much happening in the second part of that first half, but you can look at the stats and it's pretty obvious Crystal Palace deserve their 1-0 lead, and we've got a few players out there struggling. Bolton's picked up a little bit of a niggle. Louis Martins on the yellow heart, but we might actually make a triple substitution here at halftime because not happy with how things are going. Zusi, Bolton with that injury, and Ray is all not having good games. So I think what we're going to do is bring Ola Sunday, Johnny Effin Russell, and Alan Pulido on for those three respectively and see if we can get anything out of this game. It's a bit of a risk, no more substitutions to use in the second half, but we are not playing well, and those three do stand out as the worst performing players at the moment. So we'll make those three changes at halftime. Bit of a risky one, but we'll see if we can work our way back into this game, albeit only a goal down to Crystal Palace at halftime. 61 minutes gone, we have a corner which Vandenberg gets his head to just over the bar. Hopefully we get a bit more going on now. We have gone more direct just because not much was happening prior to that, but we'll see. But we're still 1-0 down as we come up to 20 minutes left in this game. And now it is a goal kick, or a free kick I should say, here to us, which Deschamps will take. Louis Martins down to a red heart and might be struggling. I'm starting to worry about the fact that we made 3 subs at halftime that could come back and bite us. But if we can get a goal back here, we'll be back in the game, obviously. Only being a goal down, that's a poor pass there, though, from Martins. And they make their way forward here through, they tried to anyway. Not sure who that was for Crystal Palace, but we do get the ball back through Gutty. Kinder makes his way forward. Johnny Effin Russell tries to play that through for Pulido, and Zaha wins the header, but Isamat will tidy things up. Ball in there for Walter, but he's very lazy on the ball. That's really poor play from him. Mateta with the finish. That's a soft goal to concede. Remy Walter down to a 6.4 rating on a yellow card, and that's only going to go down further after that bit of play. You can see even after those halftime subs, a few more players now starting to struggle for us. We are getting outclassed by Crystal Palace here. That's really poor from Remy Walter. Too simple for Mateta after that, and they make it 2-0 with 20 minutes to go, and we've got a battle on here to try and get any points out of this game.
Yeah.
And 88 minutes gone, and Louis Martins has picked up a lower leg injury. Of course, we can't make a substitutions because we used all our subs up at halftime, so that's not ideal, but that was the risk that we took, and now we have no left back either, so this could get quite interesting and potentially a little bit messy late as Remy Deschamps on the ball, kicks it long and plays it down the left-hand side, which isn't a good idea when our left back's off the field, mate, but hopefully we can hold on here as McCarthy up to Mitchell just on the edge of the box. I've got the man advantage now for the rest of the game. Good block shot there. Walter with a good slide tackle. They have given Crystal Palace a penalty here. That looked very harsh. I'm pretty sure that Walter did win the ball here. He'll be hoping it is going to get overturned after giving a goal away earlier, and indeed that penalty decision is overturned. Fair enough to it. Looked like he quite clearly won the ball, but we are going to make our way towards full time, and fair play to Crystal Palace. They did outclass us, and we lose that game 2-0, not helped by, well, really most of our players in this rotation team not performing well. The ones that came on off the bench, some of them not performing that well either, namely Johnny F and Russell, and Crystal Palace doing very well. Just too good for us there today, and we lose that game 2-0. And we'll come back shortly and just check on some of those injuries that we did pick up during that game. So back in the inbox, Luke Bolton has picked up a red injury. Only was orange when we took him off at half-time, out for 6 to 11 days. So not terrible, but not great either. We'll get by without him. We'll bring Kerry Shelton back into the first team, which not ideal, but we're going to have to deal with it. And we'll check Louis Martins as well after we tell Bolton to go see a physio. And Louis Martins only out for 1 day with a tight calf. So, yeah, you probably could have stayed on there, mate. But, yeah, don't suppose it hurt us too much. We didn't concede a goal while he was off the field, and wasn't likely that we were going to come back and win that game. And to be fair, it was only in the Europa League, which we're not focusing on too much this season. I think, though, if we look at the table for our group, we are still in one of those top 2 spots, and indeed we are, thanks to goal difference, joint with Cercle, Bruges and Monza. So that's a really tight group now after losing that game to Crystal Palace. But I think we've played most of the strong teams in this group now. Of course, we've only got Monza left, and in fact they are on the same tier as us, so that could be an interesting game. But hopefully we can get a decent result against those guys and keep ourselves in the hunt to try and get a little bit more money out of this Europa League by making the knockouts, albeit not the end of the world. The main focus here for the rest of the season is to fulfill our other cup obligations, what the board expects from us there, and to try and avoid relegation in the league. But that will do it for today's episode. A very good win against Fenerbahçe, and then a pretty disappointing loss against Crystal Palace. If you did enjoy the episode, then please do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and enjoy what you see here on the channel, also consider hitting that subscribe button, turning that notification bell on as well, all that good YouTube algorithm stuff. In terms of when we will be back for the next episode, we do have that Atlanta game coming up at the end of the month. I think that's going to be quite an interesting one. It's not one that we need to win now. We were only expected to reach the second round of that competition, but it's a pretty decent European club these days, is Atlanta. So I think we'll come back for that game. Looking at the other games that we've got coming up in November, they're not that interesting, truth be told. So I think what we're also going to come back for is early in November. We've got our FA Cup 7th round. We are expected to reach the 8th round in that competition. So that is more or less a must-win game for us. So I think what we're going to do is an Atlanta Super League Cup and a whoever we get in the FA Cup double header. And the first team is going to be playing in both of those games with the Europa League surrounding that. So we'll see if we can refine some form after that Crystal Palace loss in those games. It will be a tough ask against Atlanta, but hopefully we'll get an easier draw in the FA Cup and can do what the board expects of us there. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I will see you then. Cheers.
Sometimes you can give me all the things that I love most. Sometimes you're a queen, sometimes you're a curse, and sometimes a whole lot worse. Yeah, nobody's quite nobody.